Let's move on to the Money in the Bank qualifiers. Chad Gable qualifies. I jokingly put in my notes, not dead, because he cut that promo before the match and had security with him and all that. Wins, tries to apologize. They don't want it. Finds the creeds. We'll see where that goes. Very straightforward with that kind of stuff. More straightforward than I expected. But Chad being in Money in the Bank keeps that story hot because it's part of the next show. Lyra Valkyria also getting in there. We saw it happen with Damage Control. I am not super enthused about these ladder matches as of right now. Feels like it's Jay's to lose, and then we'll see about the women. If that briefcase and the whole gimmick is tailor-made for Chelsea Green. Tailor-made for Chelsea Green. So that's where I would. A heel's always better with the briefcase. It's a heel move. Unless you're going to call your shot way ahead of time, it's a heel move. Unless it's a baby face cashing in on a dastardly heel, and it's not an easy thing to book for a baby face. Ziggler did it technically as a heel that turned him babyface. If you go back when Ziggler cashed in, he won it as a heel. He defended it as a heel against John Cena. He beat a babyface Del Rio to win, and then they flipped him because they had to. Much like with Big E, when he called his shot, kind of, I was a huge fan of the RVD one because he was still taking advantage of the situation. Here's where I'm doing my match. It's home field advantage at Hammerstein. It's at ECW One Night Stand. And as it happened in the match, anything went, and Paul Heyman was the one who counted to 3. The one thing is when you call your shot is you kind of have to win as a babyface. Because if you call your shot and lose, you look like an idiot. Like Cena did that, if you remember. Raw 1000, DQ finish, total cop-out garbage. It led to the CM Punk heel turn and beating up The Rock and all that, but a babyface can't call their shot with the Money in the Bank and then lose. The Big E one was the worst booked Money in the Bank. He called the shot, okay, anticipates, and he beat an injured Bobby Lashley. God, that was horrible. He deserves so much better than that, and I know he got his moment, but that moment should have been so much more. And that was end of the line Vince booking. A lot of you are agreeing, RVD's a good template for it. I think they need to line that up where a babyface calls their shot and they're in front of their hometown. Or it's a major event. What if a babyface had Money in the Bank after the Rumble? And when the winner's trying to pick who it is, the babyface champs, the babyface Money in the Bank winner goes, hold on, I also have a say. And I want my world title shot in the main event of WrestleMania. That, I think, could work. Corey noting the theory thing, also pretty bad. Agreed. I don't like the E1 more because he did win. Theory was a mid-card heel. Whatever. The mid-card heel. Big E's signature victory, finally becoming WWE champion, shouldn't have happened in that way. I think it blundered the start to his main event run. The pop he got, and remember, when E won, he won the weekend WWE went back on the road. Money in the Bank was the first weekend, that Texas weekend. I remember it because that was the first SmackDown Lowdown I did. That was the show going back on the road full time. And I remember when E won. I had no idea he was winning. I watched that show from home. And I was so happy that he won. And I think a lot of us within the company, I know Seth was, I don't want to say, I didn't have full creative knowledge of this, but the belief within the company at the time was Seth was winning that Money in the Bank. And then Big E won, which was nice. And then they blundered it after that. Rob noting Survivor Series is the most important of the big four shows, and Money in the Bank is a more consequential show. They've tried to make Survivor Series mean more, though, in recent years with War Games. They've, thank God, got rid of that red-blue bullshit because it never meant anything. If there were stakes, God, how many times have I said that on this show? If there were stakes to doing the red versus blue, Raw versus SmackDown stuff, and the winners got something, go for it all the way. If you're in one of those matches, you're guaranteed a Final 5 spot in the Rumble. Whatever you want to call it. You can call it. If there was stakes, I'm good with it. But there weren't stakes. So instead it's become War Games. Now, the thing with War Games is, when you announce it ahead of time, you have to get a feud hot enough to put into War Games. The Bloodline stuff with Sammy worked. And you had people who hated the Bloodline. Some of the times, though, you've seen they've had to throw 5 together. If there's stakes to something, okay. If there's a feud hot enough to say it's War Games, I got to lock them in, okay. But when you have to throw that together because the feud's not hot enough or there's not enough people involved to go 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, then you're booking, you got to fit the booking into a show that's already scheduled. That I don't love. Something I don't love also, and you tell me, we'll get this up as a poll. What do you think of Damian Priest and Seth Rollins in terms of importance to the Money in the Bank card? Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.